There are few questions from the paper classical mechanics. We have to go through them one by one. First question is, what are frames of reference? A system of coordinate axes used to specify the motion of particles in two or three-dimensional space is called a frame of reference. This is a frame of reference, three-dimensional frame. What are inertial frames? Suppose a frame is at absolute rest or moving with constant velocity. Such a frame is called inertial frame. That means unaccelerated frames are called inertial frames. What are non-inertial frames? Accelerated frames are called non-inertial frames. This means that a frame which is moving with different velocities is called non-inertial frame. Write down Gaussian transformation equations. X dash is equal to x minus vt, y dash equal to y, z dash equal to z, t dash equal to t are called Gaussian transformation equations. In the case of Gaussian transformation equation, velocity is transformed. X dash equal to x minus vt. If you find the differentiation, dx dash by dt equal to dx by dt minus v. This is u dash equal to u minus v. Velocity is transformed. Then further, if you differentiate du dash by dt equal to du by dt, then this frame velocity is constant, so 0. This is a dash. A dash equal to a. So Gaussian frame is an inertial frame. Acceleration is invariant, but velocity is transformed from one frame to another frame. This is the velocity in the rest frame. U dash is velocity in the moving frame. Differentiate the theory of relativity. Differentiate the general theory of relativity from the special theory. The general theory deals with the inertial and the non-inertial frames, whereas special theory talks only about inertial frames. What are the postulates of special theory of relativity? The laws of physics are the same in all inertial frames. The velocity of light in free space is always constant. Write down Lorentz transformation equations. X dash equal to x minus vt divided by root of 1 minus v square by c square. Y dash equal to y. Z dash equal to z. T dash equal to t minus v by c square and x divided by root of 1 minus v square by c square. These are all called Lorentz transformations. Under the condition of v or lesser than c, that is velocity of the object is not comparable with the velocity of light, Lorentz transformation equations are reduced into Gaussian. That is x dash equal to x minus vt, y dash equal to y, z dash equal to z, t dash equal to t. Under this condition, Lorentz transformation is reduced into Gaussian. Write down the inverse Lorentz transformation equations. Just from this equation, we have to find out the value of x. X equal to, bring this vt to the left hand side, x dash plus v into t should be replaced by t dash divided by 1 minus v square by c square. Y equal to y dash, z equal to z dash. Once again, t equal to t dash plus v by c square, x dash divided by root of 1 minus v square by c square. These are all inverse Lorentz transformation equations. 10th question is, what is length contraction? The length of the rod measured by a rest observer is reduced by the factor root of 1 minus v square by c square by the length measured by a moving observer. This is the equation for length contraction. L equal to L naught to root of 1 minus v square by c square. L is the length measured by the rest observer. L naught is the length predicted by the moving observer. Here L is less than L naught. What is proper length? Proper length is defined as the length of the rod measured by an observer at rest with respect to the rod. This is very, very important. S dash observer is at rest with respect to the rod. Therefore, L0 is the proper length. What is time dilation? A rest observer's time interval between two successive events is longer than that measured by a moving observer. Suppose T is the time predicted by the rest observer and T0 is the time predicted by the moving observer, then T equal to T0 divided by root of 1 minus v square by c square. Here T is greater than T0. What is meant by addition of velocities? U dash equal to u plus v divided by 1 plus v by c square is the formula used to explain addition of velocities. Here if you replace u and v by the velocity of light, you can get u dash equal to c. This means that if you add anything to velocity of light, we can get the velocity of light. So the velocity of light is the maximum attainable one. See the 14th question. Give the concept of variation of mass with velocity. Suppose a frame is moving with a velocity appreciable to the velocity of light and another frame is at rest. The following relation gives the mass of an object predicted by them. M is equal to m0 divided by root of 1 minus v square by c square is the variation of mass velocity. Here m0 is the rest mass, m is equal to rest mass. M is equal to moving mass, m0 is the rest mass. Moving mass equal to rest mass divided by root of 1 minus v square by c square. V equal to velocity of the object, c velocity of light. Now see the question. Determine the moving mass of an object if its moving mass is 3 times its rest mass. Given is moving mass m equal to 3 times the rest mass. Now we have to find out actually the velocity of the object. Determine the velocity of an object if its moving mass is 3 times its rest mass. Now the question is correct. Given is m is equal to 3m0. See that? Determine the velocity of an object if its moving mass, that is m, is 3 times its rest mass. Rest mass is m0. Therefore, m is equal to 3m0. This is a formula. M equal to m0 divided by root of minus square by c square. M should be replaced by 3m0. Then m0 divided by root of minus square by c square. m0 cancelled out. Make the square of the 9 equal to 1 divided by 1 minus square by c square. Then cross multiply. 1 minus v square by c square is equal to 1 by 9. V square by c square is equal to 1 minus 1 by 9, that is 8 by 9. V equal to root of 8 by 9 into c. This is the velocity of the object. What is Einstein mass energy equivalence? Einstein proposed that mass is converted into energy and energy is converted back into the mass. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. E equal to mc square. The consequence of mass energy equivalence is pair creation and pair annihilation. When electromagnetic radiation approaches a charged nucleus, a particle and its antiparticle are created. Say this is a charged nucleus. Suppose an electromagnetic radiation of energy h nu is approaching, creates an electron and its antiparticle posited. Here energy is converted into mass. This is called pair creation. On the other hand, when a particle meets its antiparticle, they annihilate and energy is liberated. Suppose an electron meets its antiparticle, positron, then photon is emitted, energy is liberated. This is conversion of mass into energy. This is Einstein mass energy equivalence. What are World point and world line. The four spaces with ICT as the fourth coordinate is referred to as the Minkowski's four space. The events are defined by four space time coordinates and represented by position called world points. The position of a particle at different times represents a sequence of events called world line. What are four vectors? A vector in four-dimensional Minkowski space is called a four vector. It is A suffix mu equal to A1, A2, A3, A4. Then A4 is equal to ICT. Write down the momentum for vector. P suffix mu equal to P1, P2, P3, P4. We know that momentum P equal to mv. Here m is replaced by m0 double root of 1 minus v square by c square. X component of momentum is P1. Then P2 is m0 double root of 1 minus c square by c square into Vy. P3 is m0 v z divided by root of 1 minus v square by c square. P4 is im0c divided by root of 1 minus v square by c square. m0, this quantity is our m. Therefore, this is I m c. We know that E equal to mc square. E equal to mc square. Therefore, this is IE by C. And the last question is, what is meant by simultaneity? Two events that are simultaneous in one frame are not simultaneous in another frame of reference moving relative to the first, unless the two events occur at the same point in space.